And we are live. Hey, everybody, we're here. Thanks for joining us tonight and the Rising Texan podcast with TRT News Media. We're here to bring you, we have a special guest tonight, Frank Lopez Jr. He is Valverde County's Republican Party chairman. He is also a retired U.S. Border Patrol. So we're bringing him on to bring you a insight on one of the biggest things that's going on right now in our area, which is the border crisis, and also to talk about, since he has a lot of experience with politics and in many areas, local, state, and national politics, we have him here with us to comment about some of the things that are going on in Maverick County, so to speak. And if he wants to speak on what's going on in Valverde as well, we can go ahead and dive into that. But we'll go ahead and bring him on already. We got Frank Lopez Jr.
Hey, going, Isaac. Good to see you again, brother.
How's it going, Frank? How you been?
Good, bro.
It's been a while since we last had you on.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro, and thanks for bringing me back, man. Appreciate it. This will be the second time I've been with you, and it's always good to talk to another fellow, news journalist, somebody that's trying to bring attention, to the issues that are affecting your town, your community, man.
No, yeah, of course. And we thank you for joining us. We brought you on, and yeah, for those of you watching right now, there's a cool little fun fact now about Frank. Since the last time we interviewed him, Frank became famous on us recently, getting a big shout out from Tucker on Fox News.
Oh yeah.
So Frank was providing them with some pretty good on the floor, boots on the ground news with the whole Tony Gonzalez thing. We'll kick it off with that since we're already touching on the subject. So we got Tony Gonzalez flying out illegal crossers from Laughlin Air Force Base in Del Rio, Texas, Valverde County, Texas. And of course, that's taxpayers' money. We're doing that to fly them out. And Tony Gonzalez was in favor of that, right? He was the one who brought it about and lobbied the Biden administration to make that possible.
Yeah, the way that happened, bro, is CBPI's reached out to Tony as a congressman, to get permission to use the airstrips at Laughlin Air Force Base to fly these illegal aliens into the interior of the country, bro. And so at that point in time, right there at that juncture, Tony could have said, no, I'm not going to solicit that. I'm not going to petition for that. I am not going to support or encourage that. But what Tony did is he submitted an official, letter from a congressman to the undersecretary of the undersecretary at the Air Force, and it went out. It came back and they got the gear rolling. Yeah, are we getting feedback, bro?
No, we're good. We sound real good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got the ball rolling, bro. And so the thing about it that Tony, he got people contacted him. His office, it was to alleviate the pressure on border communities. Now, so in other words, what he said was, let's take these illegal aliens away from, a border town and let's send it into the interior of the country. Had he said no, certainly there would have been some, build up on the border communities. But the thing about it, Isaac, is that there has to be pressure, bro. There has to be pressure on the government of Mexico to do something about it. What we're doing right now, he even said it. We vented the pressure, and our question is, why didn't you instead say no, even if it would have been temporary? Let pressure build up here to where Governor Abbott could then be brought on board to put pressure on Mexico. See, there's nobody's putting pressure on Mexico, bro. All the pressure, it's been relieved from the border, but now it's up in Louisiana and Tennessee and Iowa, bro. It's in the interior. And as you all know, I just saw that they're, mandating masks in Eagle Pass School District, but yet these people, they're being flown out of a military air base into the heartland of America, and those people aren't even being tested, bro, for COVID, and they're definitely not getting vaccinated. And so people wonder why there's a spike. It's because we're spreading the disease. These are super spreader air flights out of Laughlin Air Force Base.
You see, and I think that's one of the things that I find so ironic with what's going on is that now they're trying to bring up the pandemic, the variant, this, that, or the other, and they're trying to, Eagle Pass just passed, just like how you said, for the schools and all that, they're going to need masks. And now the thing is that where is this really coming from? Because we had it already, a handle on what was going on. Yeah. Numbers were down. I mean, everything was fine. But one thing you did see were the astronomical amounts of illegal immigrants coming into our country. Illegally, not in our front door, but around the windows and the back doors, and So now we have what they're trying to call a state of an emergency. But you still see a lot of things. Again, one of Tony Gonzalez's favorites, like the Mission Border Hope in smack downtown Eagle Pass, not downtown, on Bibb Street, Eagle Pass, which is a high traffic area, and you see these facilities being overflowed with immigrants.
Yeah,
and they're claiming to assist those that are seeking asylum, but it's getting where almost every other day that there's police out there in these facilities. Now they just opened another house on Monroe Street, not too far away from our downtown area where there's a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah.
And they're housing 30, 40, 50 in a household that should be for like 6 people, 7 people at the most.
Yeah.
So it's just how you're saying, I mean, they're not really trying to fix. I mean, where is this pandemic coming from? We see where it's coming from.
Yeah, bro. Like you said, man, things were leveling out, and then two things happened, bro. Biden happened, and then he opened up the floodgates. He opened up the doors. When he was running back in 2020, he had said that if he was elected, he would green light. People coming to America, and people took him at his word, man. And it's not just Biden, bro. It's just not like these people said, "Hey, pues el presidente nos está dejando. The president's letting us." There's groups of people behind this, bro. George Soros, groups like LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, who are pro open borders. They're basically a racist organization. And those are the guys that are handling Tony Gonzalez. He's their puppet, bro. And so you also have big business.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Now, when you say their puppet, what exactly do you mean? Is it
his mother was a recruiter for LULAC, bro. Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, let me fix my camera here. Tony Gonzalez's mother, bro, was a recruiter for LULAC. She there's a video we posted it. I was helping Raul Reyes run for office, bro. Mm-hmm. And so, we found that video on YouTube. They took it down now, but she was going through the speech, and you can still go back to Raul Reyes for Congress page. It's there, and it's just scroll back. You'll find where his mother, Rachel, was going through her speech and talking about how LULAC is this great organization. And not only that, he was supported by the hierarchy, bro, the directors of LULAC in San Antonio. We have all the screenshots where a district director, the lady they call Tia Angie, bro, was a district director for LULAC. And she goes into the fight hard, on social media, pushing Tony as the candidate. And they even formed another LULAC, esta Garza, LULAC, involved person. She was a precinct chair in Bexar County. Y esa señora Garza, bro, she went and formed Democrats for Tony Gonzalez. So that's why I call him a puppet, bro. because he's in deep. We got pictures of him having lunch and going to events for LULAC. He went to a big LULAC gala, a ball, a fest, un baile, for LULAC, bro. And so and it's not surprising, porque out of San Antonio come the Castro twins. Their mother was La Raza Unida, so hey, I'm sure they said, well, if it works for La Raza Unida, let's make it work for LULAC. And they found their family, bro. Rachel Peña is his mom, and Tony's the son, and the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, bro. So that's why I call him a puppet, dude.
Yeah.
And not just that, but his actions, bro. He got the United States Air Force to provide access to their military landing strips. He interfered with the national security mission of the Air Force to train America's war fighters, bro. He interfered with that mission to fly out plane loads of illegal aliens into the country, bro. I mean, and not only that, he's working with John Cornyn, a senator from Texas who's a rhino, and he's pushing for amnesty for illegal aliens, bro. Our Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn is pushing for amnesty for rhinos, and then the two of them, Cornyn, Gonzalez, are working con el Cuellar from Laredo. He's a congressman from Laredo, and a Senator Sistema from Arizona to build 4 mega processing centers. They want to quadruple 4 times the speed, at least. This is at least 4 mega processing centers to push people through faster into the country, bro. And like I've been reporting, Isaac, there are buses, those big casino-style buses, bro, all over the place here in Del Rio. If you go down south, bro, out of Laredo, 15, 20 at a time going up I-35, and out of the Rio Grande Valley, bro, 281 north and 77 north, basically 281, just busload after busload of those big casino-style buses, bro. That's 50, 60 people at a pop, man. And you got caravans of these things going up north, man. And so that's why I call him a LULAC puppet. LULAC wants open borders, and he's helping them achieve their agenda.
And they also donated quite a hefty amount towards this campaign, didn't they?
That needs to be verified. But what we do know, bro, is that Tony, through his foundation, Tony Gonzalez Foundation, donated $600 to the LULAC Scholarship Fund. And now some people, they'll say, well, hey, man, he donated to buy books for some kids. But, bro, there are plenty of conservative organizations. There are plenty of America First organizations. There are plenty of groups that could have used a $600 donation from a Republican, bro. It did not have to be to a socialist LULAC organization, bro. That's hey, I don't have a problem giving money for books for kids, but if he's a Republican running as a conservative, why did he not donate to a conservative organization? That's a basic question, man. And the answer is simple, because he's up to his eyeballs with LULAC, bro. That's why.
Yeah, that would make total sense.
Yeah.
Now, other items that we've seen out of Tony Gonzalez that seem kind of sketchy is their involvement very heavily here with the local organization that we just spoke about a little bit earlier, the Mission Border Hope.
Yeah.
Now, he's been seen very rarely in Eagle Pass, not too often, but it always seems like he manages to stop by there to get interviewed by a local media source, Eagle Pass news leader. I know you know them very well yourself.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, there's a connection there, correct?
Oh yeah, there's a big connection, bro. So we know that the director of Mission Border Hope is married to the news leader owner, bro. Vic. I forget his last name right now. What's his name, bro?
Wheeler.
Yeah,
Wheeler.
Vic Wheeler. That's right. So Mrs. Wheeler, bro. Tony, shortly after he got sworn in as a congressman, bro, in January, about the 24th, 25th, he went and visited Mission Border Hope, and he said, "I'm here to provide you resources." And so resources means tax dollars, bro. That's what resources means. And he's a junior congressman assigned to the appropriations committee. That's kind of rare, bro, for a junior congressman to be assigned to the committee that assigns money throughout the federal government. But that happened, bro, because his handlers, McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy is the minority leader, and the minority whip is Ed Scalise. So he's in, bro, amarrado con ellos, bro. So they got him that cushy little job in the appropriations committee. But he came down to Eagle Pass, Mission Border Hope, and said, "I'm going to provide you resources." And before I forget, bro, people need to stay tuned in porque tomorrow, we're going to have a very special bombshell little show on Tony's involvement with the non-government organizations, bro. What we're gonna do a live feed. We're gonna do a live feed, bro, with some people that can give us with a person that can give us some insight, bro, into how these non-government organizations are involved in moving people into the country. They're part of the cartel pipeline, bro. The cartel is operating a lo loco, broad open, no freaking shame, no fear in Mexico. They're like the shadow government in Mexico, bro. Now, AMLO, the Mexican president, is willing to fight the cartels. He's taking them to fight down in Sinaloa. He's fighting down in Sinaloa. And so what we're trying to do is to get him to turn his attention to the cartels that are bringing little boys and little girls to be freaking ravaged by animales, by animals here in the United States, bro. Because that's what's happening with these children. They're being brought over for sexploitation. They're being sexploited because there's a hunger for that. Texas is the #1 state in the country, bro, for human trafficking. That's not about Republicans. That's not about Democrats, bro. That's about little girls and little boys, women, young men, bro, being sold purely for freaking lust, bro. Just to be used, for their bodies to be used. And even worse things, bro. There's rumors of even more horrible, bad things being done to these little kids, bro. So the cartels are operating. We need to not only stop the invasion into our country, as a nation and as a state, we need to be fighting for innocent women and children. And so what we've been asking Governor Abbott is to put the pain on Mexico. Texans right now are feeling the pain. Americans are feeling the pain. When people start dying from COVID, from air flights that originated out of Laughlin, when people start dying in places like Alexandria, Louisiana, where Laughlin Air Force Base flights are taking infected illegal aliens, bro. When people die there, they need to call Congressman Tony Gonzalez, porque he's the one that's going to have blood on his hands, bro. He could have said no to these flights, but he authorized those flights. He said okay, and he went and petitioned on behalf of ICE and CBP to fly them into the country. So that's why this is a terrible thing, right? And we need to be united as Texans to say no to human trafficking, child sexploitation. And Biden, we know we're not going to get anything out of Biden. We know that Tony Gonzalez is sold out to the non-government organizations. We're looking into the FEC records. We're looking at the money trail. You know that as well as I do, Isaac. You gotta follow the money, bro. You gotta look at who contributes to them. And then also who they give money to. See, Tony Gonzalez has a PAC. He has a political action committee. He gets money and he gives to people. So you also need to be looking at who he is giving money to. And I'll guarantee you, bro, that he's giving money to open borders rhinos, bro, socialists even. We got our bloodhounds on all those money trails, bro. And that's why tomorrow, bro, stay tuned to my channel, Frank Lopez Jr., U.S. Border Patriot. We're going to be bringing a special report that's going to put some light. It's going to shed some light on how amarrado, how tied up Tony is with the non-government organizations. He didn't just go visit the Mission Board of Hope there in Eagle Pass, bro. He went to Annunciation House in El Paso. That's a big organization in El Paso. It's another shelter for, quote unquote, asylum seekers, refugees. Bro, these people are showing up with iPhones and Nike tennis shoes and Gucci bags, bro. You know what I mean? They're not coming flaquitos, having eaten worms in the freaking, desert of Africa, bro. Están llegando gorditos. The women are showing up pregnant, bro. They look healthy. They look full, bro. But he went to Annunciation House in El Paso, and he's out there, with those people. And I'm sure the same thing, bro, telling them, I'm going to give you resources out here to the pastor that runs that Annunciation House over there. So just like he told Mrs. Wheeler there in the Eagle Pass, I'm going to give you resources. And the one that filmed that for us, bro, was Vic Wheeler. We got that information right off Vic Wheeler, Eagle Pass news leader, bro. I mean, and he says, I'm going to give you resources. And then we have those reports out of El Paso as well. And we're pretty sure he told him he's going to give him resources as well out there, bro. There's a very interesting connection between Tony Gonzalez and the non-government organizations that are making hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. Because these people aren't doing it for free, brother. You know that, Isaac. They submit bills to the county, city, the federal government, to the state. Hey, reimburse us. They're not doing it for free, bro. They're doing it because at some point or another, they submit a bill and they demand payment. And so we're just wondering, eventually that money, if it's going to launder, its way back to Tony Gonzalez and other rhinos that are pushing open borders, an amnesty like John Cornyn. But I know that was a mouthful, but it's a big network, bro. And we got to follow those leads. We just got to investigate.
No, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And now that you're on the subject, with the news media, so you're saying you saw this and you grabbed this information from the Eagle Pass news leader, where it's one of the most seen here in Eagle Pass.
Yeah. Recently,
what they did is that they were able to spin some kind of news that came out of Commissioner's Court, where they didn't show a whole. They didn't show everything that was discussed on an item. They just showed half the video and then spin the story the way they wanted it. And I know it's something familiar that you went through, so I don't know if you want to talk about the way they.
The way they conduct business, bro. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience with the Eagle Pass news leader, bro. And let me preface that. Let me kind of lay a foundation. When I got out of the Army, I served in the Army 3 years. I got out. I started going to college, bro. I was going to become my minor was going to be journalism. My major was going to be English, bro. I was thinking of, maybe be a teacher, English teacher, and get into journalism. And one of the things I learned about there, Isaac, is journalistic integrity, bro. The ethics of being a journalist. Because look, journalism comes in America from a most sacred source, the United States Constitution, bro. Journalism in America is the freedom of the press. It is a sacred right that has been given to America, bro, to Americans. And that First Amendment, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to address issues with your government officials, and freedom of the press. And so there's journalistic integrity. In other words, when you present an issue, bro, if your motives are pure, if your motives are right, and you have even just a pelito of integrity, you're going to present both sides of the story, bro. So what happened when, everybody knows I was campaign manager for Raul Reyes. We were running a strong, hard race in CD23. There was a story that the Eagle Pass news leader printed, bro, that put a bad light on Raul, that he had been fired from Southwest Texas Junior College in Uvalde. Well, Raul worked there for 1 year, bro. He got promoted to vice president. Then he resigned because he was getting a job at the Department of Defense. So if you're fired from a position, bro, the Department of Defense, a federal government agency, is not going to hire you, bro. They're not going to hire you.
Yeah,
You're going to fail your background check immediately, because it's one of the questions. Have you ever been fired from a job? And so a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't research. But when it's wrapped up by a gun for hire, quote unquote, news outlet like the Eagle Pass news leader, bro, there's no journalistic integrity, bro. There's no ethics with them. It's money buys paper, money buys advertisement. So when they broke that story, Isaac, I called the Eagle Pass news leader, and I spoke with Mr. Vic Wheeler, bro, and I told him, hey, man, whenever you're going to present a story, it is journalistic. It's a journalistic norm. It is a process, procedure, and good reporting to get the other side of the story. And I told them, you never reached out to us. You never reached out to Raul Reyes, to me as campaign manager, or to anybody affiliated with our campaign or our side of the story. That guy, Vic Wheeler, didn't even answer that question, bro. He said, look, I'm an ordained minister. I believe in God, bro. I'm not gonna lie here, bro. He told me, look, you can do business with us too. You can do business with us, and we will sell you the advertising space. He didn't even address the question, bro. He didn't even say, I'm sorry. We should have checked with you. We dropped the journalism integrity ball. None of that, bro. He offered me the same deal he offered. We know it was Tony Gonzalez, bro. We know Tony Gonzalez ran that story and paid for that story. And I asked Vic Wheeler, what's your source? Because that's if you're gonna put something, bro, you put a source. And he couldn't offer a source to that, bro. And then Tony Gonzalez, he ran with that. He ran with it. He was all our internal polling was showing that we were kicking his butt, bro. He was on his way to losing. So he went and pulled some backdoor strings to get the Trump endorsement. And even then, people got fired for that, because Trump certainly didn't mean to endorse Tony Gonzalez, bro. That's why Brad Parscale, his campaign manager, got fired. He got demoted from the position, but he got fired from the campaign manager position for Trump. The other thing is that Tony Gonzalez went dirty with a story about Southwest Texas Junior College, bro. And we asked the Tony Gonzalez to source it, provide your proof. You're making this outlandish claim that Raul got fired from Southwest Texas Junior College. What is your source? And Tony Gonzalez never provided that source, bro. Whenever we said something about Tony Gonzalez, we source it, man. We provide the proof, because we believe that everybody that's listening to us should go conduct their own research. And hey, trust but verify. That's just the way you do business. You trust but verify. And so that's my exposure with the news leader, bro. And what we've seen with great interest, we have followed the relationship between Tan Amarrados, Vic Wheeler, Tony Gonzalez. Vic went up to his inauguration, to his swearing-in ceremony up in Washington, D.C. He went up there, took a lot of pictures with him up there, real nice and cozy. And then he comes down, like you said, we're aware when Tony Gonzalez is in Eagle Pass down there visiting with the folks at the Border Mission Hope, man, and making the rounds in Eagle Pass. And he usually comes out with the money outstretched power. He comes looking for money. He doesn't really bother to meet with the everyday people, man. Let me ask you, what has Tony Gonzalez done for Eagle Pass, bro? Is he bringing economic engines, bro? Has he done anything to try to open the door for manufacturing in Eagle Pass? Does he even talk about providing incentives to bring industry growth, manufacturing, jobs, pensions to Eagle Pass? He hasn't done it for you all. He hasn't done it for us out here in Valverde County. Es más, bro, he doesn't even want to meet with the Republicans of Valverde County. He runs around, bro, through alleys and back doors. But we've invited him multiple times to meetings in Valverde County, and he avoids us, bro, because he knows we're gonna ask him hard questions, and he doesn't want to answer because he has no answers, bro.
No, yeah, we've also noticed. He didn't. We have a funny comment here, which is true. Joey says he gave us money for diabetes. That's what he did.
Gave you money. Well, I mean, and go research that stuff, bro, because I bet you that stuff had already been in the works, bro. It's not like all of a sudden Tony Gonzalez just said, Hominis Dominus, let's give Eagle Pass some money. Let's send some money to Southwest Texas Junior College. I'll bet you that a lot of that money had been already in the works, bro. Part of the reason I say that is because Tony's not a smart guy, dude. He doesn't think too far ahead like that, and so he's more of a person that needs to be spoon fed what to do next, and that's just the way I've seen him, man. That's my opinion. That's my assessment of the guy. And I'll remind you, Isaac, that I worked 30 years in the Border Patrol, bro. I read people. I interact with people. Some of them have bad intentions, but I also have been a supervisor. I got a lot of training, bro, in dealing with personnel, and I can tell, by dealing with these people, what kind of people they are, what drives them. I'm also, still working on my college education, a major in psychology. I want to become a licensed professional counselor, so I can read people, bro. And I can tell you that about Este Tony, man. That guy's got some serious baggage, bro. Serious baggage.
Well, we've been trying to get him for an interview as well, and we have not. I mean,
yeah, and I'll tell you why, Isaac. There was a meeting in Crystal City, and he was going to go down there. And that meeting, he was not going to allow videotaping, bro. He doesn't want videotaping. When they were asked, why don't you allow that? Well, we don't want people to take the video and then splice it and dice it and make something up. But the reality is, bro, Tony stumbles on his answers. He's very robotic. You give him a list of talking points, and that's what he goes by, bro. When you go off the talking points, se pierde. He gets lost, bro. That's why he didn't want to debate Raul Reyes. He ran around, bro. Raul had chased him around. He said he would have a debate in Valverde and Del Rio, bro. And he promised everybody, there was people going to come from San Antonio, from freaking Mentone and Monahans, El Paso, because that was going to be the only debate that Raul Reyes and Tony Gonzalez were going to have. And, bro, the whole time that everybody's planning to have that debate, he was planning a private, by invitation only event at a house in San Antonio, bro, the same day. He knew all these people were planning this event, and we got the flyer, bro. We got the flyer there as proof to show that the whole time he's telling people, yeah, I'm going to go debate in Del Rio, he was planning a big event in San Antonio to get money. And so he avoids the camera. He doesn't want to get caught. Yeah, he'll pander to you. He'll tell you what you want to hear. And on January 6th, remember January 6th, that the big deal took up place at the White House. He was at the Reagan International Airport in D.C., bro. It was fixing to fly back to Texas. And there were Texans there that had gone to that event. People that I know, they were coming back to Texas, and they were filming him, bro. They had their cameras, they were filming him. And he told them to not film them, bro. A congressman in a public place, the airport's public, he told them, don't film me. So those are the markings of a person, bro, that doesn't want to be on the record. He doesn't want to be on the record because he stumbles over his words. He does it. Once you get him off those talking points, he gets lost, bro. And that's where he puts his foot in his mouth. And that's Tony for you, man. Yeah, man. It's the truth, bro. That's the truth.
Well, we haven't had a chance to interview him, so we don't know up close. But
good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that.
Well, from one politician to another, we recently had two bills filed within a week of each other.
Yeah,
from our state rep Eddie Morales, that does cover your area as well.
Yes,
he is a Democrat, but recently, before what caught our attention with his bill filing was in last session when he tried to submit a bill to create a new district attorney's office here for Maverick County.
Uh-huh.
Now, whenever we spoke to the people involved, which mainly District Attorney Roberto Serna in the area, he mentioned that he was never approached by State Representative Eddie Morales and asked, hey, would this be a good idea? I'm planning to submit this bill. And everything was just wrong and off about that situation.
Yeah.
And we interviewed Eddie Morales about that, and he did say, he made a mistake in not speaking to District Attorney Serna prior to submitting the bill.
Yeah.
And now we have a similar situation that's arising again, where he submits a bill and resubmits it. So this is the second time. He tried in the first session of the 87th legislative session here for Texas, and then the second round as well, just recently, a couple of days ago, to submit for magistrates here to serve at the Maverick County Commissioner's Court pleasure.
Yeah.
Now, what those magistrates would do is have the same jurisdiction as the already elected justice of the peace positions, which is, I believe we have 4 or 5 of them. So to me, it kind of seems a little odd. Do you know why a politician of his magnitude, a state representative, would want to do something like that?
Look, bro, I don't know the exact reason, but let me just give you this example, man. Look, when I was working the Border Patrol, one of the things that I did, bro, I was a contracting. I dealt with contracts, so I had to do like what's called a statement of work, which is, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with this from writing your grants, bro. A statement of work is, the outline, the document that says this is what we want, this is the service we need, these are the parameters, this is the way it's going to work. But we don't do that, bro, without dealing with the stakeholder, the end user, the person that's going to use that product or that service. And so it's interesting to me, bro, that he doesn't consult with another entity, which what we call subject matter experts, bro. The end user is most often the subject matter expert because they use a product or that service every day. They are the subject matter expert. And so it's interesting to me that he's not consulting with subject matter experts there, in this case being the JPs, bro. I mean, these are the people, they know their caseload, they know that, their staffing needs, they know their budget needs. The JPs know their business. They got people that work under them, they answer to the voters as well, bro. So it's just very interesting to me that all of a sudden he's adding another layer in the judicial process. And let's think about that, because one of the things, Isaac, is that it's going to cost money. It's going to cost, and who's going to pay for that? The taxpayers of Maverick County, bro. The taxpayers of Maverick County. So is this even an issue that he has brought up in a town hall, for example? Hey, citizens of Maverick County, I want to have a town hall because I'm going to ask you, I'm going to submit legislation to create a whole other level of judicial personnel in Maverick County. And so we're going to have to talk about the cost to the county for that. And it's not going to come out of a tree. They're not going to go dig a hole somewhere at the end of the rainbow, bro. They're going to come to Jose, Juana, Joe Blow there in Maverick County. And how is it going to translate? Are they going to increase county taxes for that? Are they going to, the money's got to come from somewhere. Yeah. So it's interesting that he hasn't had a town hall for everyday citizens that are going to be affected by this financially, but also, bro, now they got a different group of people they got to deal with. That just, to me, honestly, it's kind of sketchy, bro. You always got to wonder, what is the end state? What are they trying to achieve? If they haven't consulted with the JPs, if they haven't sought the expertise and advice from subject matter experts, they're just bypassing a whole group of people. You got to question why. Why are they doing that? Is there something personal? Is there? And look, man, I know how it is, bro. There's clicks. There are clicks. There's a thing called cronyism. Los compadres, bro. scratching each other's back. I do this for you. You do this for me. I help you this way. This is the way I'll help you, man. You'll help me. So you gotta, and it's real, bro. That's politics. And so it's real hard to get people that are pure of motive, that their intent should be to serve the people. And so if he didn't even ask the people, bro, as a representative, the people he's representing, it's sketchy. Why? If the JPs say they need it?
We reached out to almost all the JPs, I think all but one, and every single one of them, it was a surprise.
They were surprised. Wow.
Yeah. But not even from the first filing, but then coming back a week later and filing it again. So they were caught off guard with that. None of them were consulted about it, and we wondered the same thing. That is there a story behind this? Did this come from something else for another reason that you just mentioned about possible clicks, this, that, and the other? So it caught our attention, to say the least.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so I turned down my volume. I just got a text. Turn down the volume. Okay. So I tend to yell, bro. But look, let me say this, bro. You know this as well as I do, Isaac, bro. There's groups. The people in Maverick County know, just like the people in Valverde. There's a bunch of people, bro. They wake up every day. They put their kids on buses. They get them ready for school. They go to work, bro. There's just everyday families. But then there are people that are involved in la política, and they're in it up to their eyeballs. And there's a bunch of movimiento behind the scenes, bro. There's a bunch of movimiento behind the scenes, and when you got your finger in the pulse of that, Isaac, that's when you start really getting closer to what are the reasons, what are their motives, bro. And you always got to ask, who's going to benefit from that? I mean, who's going to benefit? Is it a group of people that's going to benefit from it? Is it a particular person that's going to benefit from it? Who's going to be harmed? Porque right here, there's a comment right here. I'm sure you saw it, bro. They're going to cut funds from all 4 JPs in Maverick County for Salcedo and HD 74 puppet judge, bro. So that's the other side of the coin. Who's going to get hurt? In this case, if they're going to cut funds from the JPs, is there a reason the JPs are going to lose funding, bro? I mean, you got to start getting into, is there a fight going on there somewhere? Is this political payback on somebody? Those are the questions you got to start asking, bro.
Well, I mean, we have done. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, you all who live there would be able to better answer that, bro. But that's just in general. That's a way I would approach it is, who's going to benefit and who's going to hurt, who's going to come up winning and who's going to get the short end of the stick, man. No,
I think you hit the nail on the head with that one, as far as talking about certain groups or certain cliques and who's going to benefit. And lately what we've seen here in Maverick County, we'll be frank, is that we've seen this one group that right now the leader of the pack, I guess you would say, is the county judge, David Salcedo, and everything trickles down from there as far as the newspapers that get paid, things that are being done. I can almost bet that this bill that's just getting passed has something to do with it as well. Now here's the kicker. Morales' uncle is actually one of the ones he's a commissioner. So, I mean, and was also paid off on his campaign. So that brought a lot of questions. We all know the big conflict of interest with Eddie Morales in his financial campaign finance was the whole thing with his chief of staff and this Obi character who runs the governmental Shepherd Government Affairs, who just got renewed for $8,000 a month for the next 12 months.
Wow.
Frank, we were actually there.
How much a month, bro?
$8,000 a month.
$8,000 a month. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just got renewed. That day that they that item was on there,
Yeah.
we actually showed up at the meeting. We had a little speech prepared about how, some of both these people that are partners in this governmental affairs shepherd group,
Yeah.
that they have very sketchy past in the valley, very sketchy, where
Yeah.
they're being accused of conning the taxpayers and everything. And
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, they're going on their third contract with Maverick County now,
Yeah.
and very little tangible results to show the public. But
Yeah.
then the majority, which we like to call out here the majority, which is the three people that are there, which is
Yeah.
the county judge David Salcedo, state representative Morales' uncle Jerry Morales, and Rosy Cantu from Precinct 2.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's kind of interesting, man. One thing I would say is, you know, which kind of jumps right out at me. How involved is Representative Morales in Maverick? I know, and I get it. That's his home county, bro. But remember, his district is what I want to say 12 other counties.
Mhm.
You know, and so how involved is he in the other counties? Is he engaged in this kind of micro legislation? I call it micro because, like I said, there's other counties in his district. Is he involved in that level of micro legislation in other counties? My answer, my guess, bro, my educated guess is that no. Why? Because he's from Eagle Pass, bro. Yeah, and he's got family there. He's got roots there. He knows la conexiones. He knows the people there. Yeah, and so I mean that's just my thing, and it's a hard thing to separate yourself from that element. But we all know it that there's cronyism, there's nepotism, los compadres. That's all alive and well, and so it's difficult, especially when you're the local guy, to separate yourself from that. But he represents not just Democrats, and he represents not just the citizens of Maverick County. He also represents Republicans, bro, and he also represents citizens of other counties that are not, that are not related to him, that are not affiliated with him. They live at the far ends, all the way out to Fort Stockton in this district, out there in Pecos County. That's a long way to go. Yeah, and I have no doubt he's been out and about. He's been out there, but that's just something you can't get away that because he is from Eagle Pass, he's going to be very, very involved and very, very in tune. And all I say to that is that you gotta walk extra careful when that dynamic is in place. You need to walk extra careful to create distance, to create that optical, and real sense of, hey, I'm gonna walk extra careful here because I don't want people to be saying, yeah, I'm metiendo mano too much, that I'm really getting into it too much. And as citizens, we need to be asking, you guys are doing the right thing. You're asking why, and like somebody said, follow the money. Who's going to benefit? Look, and when that's not working, you gotta upset the apple cart. When that's not happening, what you do is you start reaching out. We have entities that oversee activities such as this. Like for instance, you can reach out to the organizations that are involved with certifying attorneys, bro. What are the ethical guidelines? There's a state congressman, a state representative who wants to create JP magistrate positions in this county. What are the ethical guidelines for that? You can go to the State Bar Association. You can even reach out to the Texas Attorney General and ask the Attorney General, is this right? We got a situation down here, Mr. Paxton, that doesn't pass a smell test. It doesn't smell, it smells fishy. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And just as a side note, I was asked, bro, I've been involved, Isaac, all over the area here. And I was asked, hey, we're trying to put a tour together of officials to go to the border regions. We understand we need to pay more attention to the border regions, who would you invite and where? And I said, hey, let's invite the Attorney General Paxton to Eagle Pass. Let's get him down to Eagle Pass. Let's get him in front of the citizens.
That.
What's that, bro?
I said I would love that.
You would love that. Because if I have any input into it, that's what I would say. Now, remember, in addition to being a chairman here in Valverde County, I'm also involved with the State Republican Executive Committee. And so with that, I'm with the governing body of the Republican Party of Texas. And part of my area is Senate District 19. And Maverick County is in Senate District 19. And so I would just say, hey, look, let's spread the wealth. I brought Alan West over here. Huff Fines is going to be here Friday. Chad Prather, I wasn't totally involved with that, but he came to our area. We brought people from Wisconsin, Michigan to Del Rio. But hey, Eagle Pass needs some love. So let's bring some of that Paxton love to Eagle Pass. Let's bring the Attorney General of the state of Texas to Maverick County, where you can tell them firsthand your concerns about the activities of your elected officials, in Maverick County. We got an election coming up. One of the things, hot on the table is election integrity. And you all know better than I do, probably, what are elections like in Eagle Pass? How's that? How's that dynamic there in Eagle Pass? There have been other parts of the state that have had to deal with ballot harvesters. Rachel Rodriguez was a big player in this past election, 2020, in San Antonio, and a lot of people are still probably under scrutiny for that. So, hey, Attorney General Paxton, we would love to get you down to Eagle Pass, and let's voice our concerns to you, sir. And I'll be pushing from my end, bro, as the state committee man for the State Republican Executive Committee, SD19, whatever influence I can push, because people have approached me with concerns. Go down to Eagle Pass. Let's go see what's going on down there. I don't have a problem with it. Now, the other thing is coming up, August 31st. Who's going to be down there? Governor Greg Abbott, right? Yeah. Greg Abbott is going to be in Eagle Pass. And from what I hear, it's not just the Democrats that are upset and angry with Governor Abbott. There's a whole lot of Texans, conservatives, Republicans, red state kind of people that are anxious to see Governor Abbott, and they're anxious to tell Governor Abbott. And if it's got to be at the ICT, what is it called? The ICT Center there, the ITC Center? Yeah, maybe there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are not necessarily Democrats that show up to that center there in Eagle Pass to let their voices and their concerns be known to Governor Abbott about this invasion, about the COVID outbreak on the border, and about the fact that while all this is going on, Texans are being affected, and there's going to be people who's going to start dying from COVID and from other issues. Mexico is just operating like nothing. And so maybe there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to show up down there to kind of let their voices be heard, get a little bit of that, activist protest activity going down there in Eagle Pass. And it's not going to be just Democrats, brother.
No, yeah. I mean, that would be great. I mean, because also one of the concerns that we have, and I wanted to touch on this before we jump off a little bit more, was with in Eddie Morales' case, being the state representative. Would you see that as a conflict of interest, him serving as a city attorney as well? Because we brought that issue up before, and several other people have brought up the issue that it just doesn't look right for a state representative to be sitting there as a city attorney as well. I don't know if you have any comment on that.
So let's clarify that. He's still the city attorney, or he was the city attorney?
No, he still is. He still goes to meetings and sits down whenever city council has their meetings.
Wow. Look, I would think that at this point, well, first, I got several questions. Has anybody brought that up? Has it been taken up before, like the election, the Secretary of State, who oversees elections? Has that been brought up to, like I talked earlier, the state bar and the ethics committee of the state of Texas? Has that been brought up? It may not necessarily be illegal, but why not take a temporary stay? Why not step down? Why not in the interest? Because when he's a city attorney, his number one job is to protect the city from liability. That's his number one job. And so uh, I wouldn't want to be in that position. I wouldn't want to, that to me is a very difficult position to because as a representative say that a citizen who he represents as a constituent of HD 74 has a matter before the city of Eagle Pass, who he represents as the attorney. Man, that's just that is to me a conflict of interest. That is a massive conflict of interest. And especially because say I have an issue with my governing authorities here, I can certainly take it up the chain per se. I can go to my state rep, I can go to my state senator, I can go to my congressman, I can go to my state senator, my federal senator, Ted Cruz or John. I can take it up and down. And so if I have an issue with the city of Eagle Pass, and how am I going to go to my next go-to guy, the state rep, if he represents the interest of Eagle Pass? That's a total conflict, bro.
Total conflict. I mean, and that we've gotten a lot of feedback like that. That's why, whenever you agreed to come on, we thought it'd be a great idea to ask you, especially with your insight in the political area, having the experience you have.
Yeah, and part of it too, honestly, Isaac, is just, God's given us common sense. God's given us discernment and wisdom. And if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't sound right, it just doesn't taste right, there's probably something wrong with that. And let there be no doubt, unfortunately, it's everywhere, but unfortunately, there's been some really high-profile stuff. Remember, right next door in Zavala County, Crystal City, virtually everybody in the city council got arrested, right? Remember that a few years ago?
Yeah.
And the first guy, the only guy that didn't he was brand new. I think he'd only been there, a couple of months or something like that, So there's a lot of shady stuff that takes place, and as citizens, we have an obligation to hold our officials accountable and to ask for transparency. And they always got to be reminded that they work for us. We don't work for them. I mean, they get into office, and a lot of people allow it to go to their head, and they become arrogant, and they don't want to hear from the people they represent. They only want to hear from the influential people. They only want to hear from ticos. They only want to hear from the donors. But what about los ancianos, the older people? What about the young couples that they're just barely, got out of high school, they barely got married, and they need to be represented fairly, objectively, with passion for their issues. And so they forget all that. And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, all they do is they just follow the money. They just want to get rich, or they want to get their back scratched some way or another. And that's the way it is. That unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast. But there are some good people that want to make some good changes out there. And the thing is that sometimes it's sad that this is your moment in time, Isaac. I mean, not everybody gets elected to office. This is your moment in time to make positive change in your community. And so what positive change has Eddie Morales done for Eagle Pass? What has Eddie Morales done for y'all? Is he pushing against the invasion? Is he saying, I don't want these illegal aliens with COVID in my county? Has he reached out to Governor Abbott and said, stop the invasion, Governor? He's one of our representatives. He represents us. I'm a Republican. Abbott's a Republican. I would be surprised and encouraged if my Democrat representative said that to Abbott, but he's not doing that. And meanwhile, this disease is coming across us, and not just COVID, Isaac, sexually transmitted diseases, tuberculosis, diseases that we have probably never even heard of in our lifetime, coming from Africa and coming from the Caribbean, from Haiti, and coming from Central and South America, you know. And so he, as a representative, needs to be saying, secure the border, stop the invasion, stop mandating masks, and now they're trying to mandate vaccines on American citizens when you are doing nothing about the invasion and all these, contagious people coming across. What's he doing for Eagle Pass? Because I'll tell you, he's not doing that for us here in Valverde County. And that's just being honest, bro. That's just being honest.
No, I mean, he hasn't mentioned anything on the border. We haven't heard anything about that. I think the highlight that comes with him is that he's one of the Democrats that didn't, take that plane trip to Washington. So
yeah,
I guess that's a highlight there. But I mean, other than that,
yeah, and he didn't. I mean, hey, I know that was kind of the agenda. That was kind of the group think. I'm sure he has reasons why he didn't do that. But I would just fall back. Okay, great. You didn't do that, fine. But what are you doing for Eagle Pass, Maverick County, and Valverde, and the counties? He does represent Kinney, and these other counties. Well, what's he doing with them? What's he doing? He's a local native boy. I mean, there should be a lot of good, if anything, coming into Maverick County. And there should be good coming into our whole district. And that's what you got to look at is, what's his track record and what's he done, what's he accomplished with it.
Yeah,
he needs to be challenged. I think somebody should run against him for state rep. It's got to be next year.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, I believe.
Yeah,
I know there was a Ruben Falcon running them this past election. I don't know if he's up for running for that again or not, but we'll see shortly, I guess, right?
Well, on the Republican side, I know there's several people that are considering it. There's several people. Falcon was there, but there's already names that are getting bounced around. He had his chance. And I'll be nice. I'll just be nice. Yeah, he had his chance. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and we've interviewed him here before also.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of fun at the state rep's expense, I guess, throwing out little jabs here and there whenever he was up on our interviewing. But have you heard any names, any possible candidates there in Valverde that might be interested with House District 74?
There's a couple, but they've asked to not be put out yet. And I'll be honest, I've been asked them to get involved a couple of times. That's always a possibility. That's always a possibility. I wouldn't mind at least considering that a little bit more. But part of it, Isaac, comes from getting out in the neighborhoods, walking the streets. I've always said, I'll give you a perfect example. When we got a new city manager here in Del Rio, I went and visited the guy. And I think his name was Matt or Mark. I forget right now. But anyways, I told him, look, Matt, right? So I told him, look, Matt, don't be a city manager who sits in his office all day. Go walk the streets. And I've learned that that's what you got to do. You got to go walk the streets. If you see a guy mowing his lawn, stop and talk to the guy. Hey, I'm the city manager. What do you need? And you go up, two houses up, and there's an old couple. They're weeding their garden, and go up to them and say, hey, quiero ser su representante. ¿Qué necesita usted en este pueblo? What do you need in this town? I believe in walking the streets and talking to people, connecting with people. I like to talk to people and find out what they need, because I really believe, Isaac, that when you're in these positions of authority, and they're positions of opportunity, they're positions to bring good stuff to the people you represent. That's what they want, man. Most people, Republican or Democrat, pobre or rico, living in Maverick or living in Valverde, first of all, they want their children to do well. They want their children to be fed. They want their children to be healthy. They want them to do good in life. That's what we all want. And as a representative, That should be our concern. Is how do we make life good? People that I'm responsible for, the people that elected me, want me to do a good job. And if it's about getting involved in petty little local stuff, bro, you're not serving everybody else that needs to be, that has questions and concerns and needs to be represented well. So that's just those are just my thoughts on it. But I'm sure there'll be other people from other counties that are probably eyeballing it. It's the nature of the beast. They think that Eddie is vulnerable, and so they might have political ambitions. Uh, uh, it takes a lot of work. I've seen it firsthand. It takes a lot of work to get elected, and there's something bigger that might be on the horizon. So I don't want to back myself into a corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a mouthful, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're congruent in a lot of our ideology as far as the political arena goes. I'm sure being neighboring counties, we've gone through a lot of the same experiences. Of course, your expertise a little bit outweighs mine, of course, in border relations and also in the political arena. So that's why we wanted to bring you on to speak with us about what you thought, what were your ideas. I don't know if there's something you wanted to touch on tonight or anything like that.
No,
you wanted to discuss.
No, we're good, bro. The one thing I'll say is this reminder. Stay tuned tomorrow on my channel. We're gonna have a bombshell report. It's gonna be a live report. So it's probably going to be roughly, let's see, about 11-ish, 11:30, somewhere in there. But stay tuned. It's going to be a big one. The other thing I would say is if you get a chance, Don Huffines is going to be in Del Rio at Rudy's. And so that, if anybody from Eagle Pass can come up the road, and I gave you his contact information. Maybe you can get him down to Eagle Pass because I think he needs to go to Eagle Pass. People need to know that there's an alternative to Abbott. Abbott is falling on his face on the job that he has to do right now. He's falling on his face, and I'm saying that as a Republican. About a Republican governor. He's not doing the job we need him to do right now. So there's alternatives out there. Don Huffines, Alan West, and Chad Prather, and I'm pushing on all those three persons to go to Eagle Pass. That's why when I was asked, can you do something? Yeah, let's go to Eagle Pass. The other thing is that keep your eye on the CD23 race. It's no secret now that Raul Reyes is forming a exploratory team, and he's thinking about giving Tony Gonzalez, getting him fired, getting him out of there. Gonzalez will be Gonzalez in one term.
Oh, wow. So you're saying there might be a possibility we see Raul Reyes step up to the plate one more time to take on Tony Gonzalez?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He put it out already publicly. In Hondo, there was a big event in Hondo, and he announced it there. It's on Facebook. He announced that he's forming an exploratory team because Tony Gonzalez is not just dropping the ball. Tony Gonzalez is betraying the people of Texas and Americans. He's betraying us. And so he needs to get fired. He needs to get fired.
No, yeah, and I think he's just like how you said, he's putting everybody at risk. He's putting America at risk, flying the people that cross over here, putting the rest of America at risk. I mean, we were already at risk here on the border.
Yes.
I mean, and now with the Delta variant being, a big cause for all the commotion going on now. It's like, why can't they see what they brought into our country? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's scary, Isaac. And I know you got to go whenever. You just let me know. But people need to be real concerned about what the government is doing, Isaac. Why are they trying to push on American citizens mandatory vaccinations, but they're not pushing it on these people coming from other countries? They're not pushing it on them, and they're talking about lockdowns again. There's talks about the Centers for Disease Control building camps to put people in them if they don't want to get the vaccination. Man, this is America, bro. This is America. We don't involuntarily put people in detention camps on American soil. That's dangerous stuff. That is dangerous stuff. But they're using the fear about COVID-19. It's real. It's out there. I'm pretty sure I got sick from it. It's real. But really, to make kids breathe, the dirtiest part of the mouth, bro, of the body is the mouth, bro. Yeah. And so to have that mask on your face all the time, you breathe in oxygen and put out carbon dioxide. And so now you're breathing in carbon dioxide and a little bit of oxygen. That's not healthy. It's not good. I think one of your guests, and I heard about this before, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, being covered up, all that does things to your emotional, spiritual well-being. And they're shoving all this stuff down Americans' throats. They're threatening us with detention camps. They're threatening us with taking our freedom away because of a disease that has a bug that has 99+% survivability rate. 99+ survivability rate. They want to shut down America, kill business, take our freedoms away from us. There's something wrong. There's a bigger plan. It's an evil plan, and it's not good for us. So I would just say, trucha, Americans need to be wary. They need to be watching what's happening.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's exactly what our last week's guest kind of brought up and spoke about as well. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're a little bit above an hour now. I don't know if you have anything else to say, Frank. I mean, you've been great. We really appreciate you stopping by and having a chit chat with us. And again, like last time, we hope it's not the last time that you'll be sitting down and having discussions with us.
I'll be available, Isaac. And I'll tell you right now, we're planning some big stuff in Eagle Pass. We want to make a big splash in Eagle Pass. We want to bring some good conservative leaders and groups into Eagle Pass because we believe that we have a message for Americans. It's about family. It's about faith. It's about our future. It's about prosperity for Americans. We got to stop believing the lie that just because we live in the border, we're going to be más pobrecitos que todo. That's a lie, bro. We don't have to buy into that. And so we're hoping to bring some people in that are going to shake that up, and we're going to speak truth, and we're going to demolish those strongholds because those are strongholds that have been put up by the enemy. Those are all lies. Well, we can thrive as Americans. We can thrive as Christians. We can thrive in the land of opportunity. And we don't have to be bogged down and tied down to las mentiras del enemigo, the lies of the enemy. No, the time is gone for that. And the Democrat Party wants to keep people tied down. The system's against you. The man's against you. You were born into a minority family. You're never going to accomplish nothing. Those are all lies. You've worked hard for what you have. This is America. Nos metemos, and we can accomplish things, and we can be prosperous. So keep your eye open. We'll be making a big splash in Eagle Pass in the near future.
All right, that's awesome, and we look forward to. And hopefully, you'll contact us. That way, we can bring our viewers a first-hand account of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me on your show, Isaac.
No, thank you, Frank. We really appreciate it.
Okay, God bless you. Take care.
Right, you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Frank Lopez Jr. He is the chairman of Valverde County Republican Party, and he is also a former 30-year retired 30-year U.S. Border Patrol retired from Border Patrol. So we like to thank him for his time and input on these subjects. We do want to catch you guys or bring you up to speed on something else. We did have a a pending records request that we were going to bring you guys. So what we want to go ahead and do is come back and refresh your memory about the records request we submitted to the county. Again, it was a long story about at the time when I was working for the county, I was the Sheriff's Department's grant director, as well as the interim planning director. So when I was there as interim planning director for the county, I was in contact with somebody that Judge Salcedo himself said was no longer employed by Maverick County. So to corroborate that story, what we did is we requested the checks of the planning director, the paycheck stubs of the planning director. And the story on that is that we've had quite a difficult time. We sent in our request. We didn't get a response until about, I would say maybe about 6-7 days after we submitted the request. And the response was not from the public information officer that we typically speak to with these information requests, but in fact, legal counsel for Maverick County's Commissioner's Court. Now, we received some information. We had to ask for some more, and we still have not received all the information. And let me tell you what I'm talking about here right quick. If I can share my screen with you guys. You would give me 1 second here. And what we have here is the information request that we submitted and some of the paycheck stubs, of course, from our Maverick County planning director. You can see her name right there. Now, one of the things that we find very, very weird is that the first time we requested these, we didn't receive all of the time frame that we asked for. So we had to go back and request again from him. And we only received one more paycheck, which still leaves 4 pay stubs that we have not received from them as an information request. And we know that there had to have been a check. So we are going to go ahead and contact the Attorney General with this, because some of the things that come out here, guys, and you can check for yourself, they just do not add up. There are several times where it says no units and they were still paid a full amount. As you can see, sick leave was paid as well with the earnings, and a cell phone stipend that appeared out of nowhere. Now, the interesting thing on one of them that I would like y'all to see, this is the second one they sent me. As I mentioned, they just gave me one more extra. So if we zoom in here for you guys, again, there's 5 more pay periods missing on here that legal counsel for Maverick County Commissioner's Court has not provided with us, and I don't think they're willing to provide for us. But if you see this very interesting check stub right here, it does show that there was no hours whatsoever submitted, but there was a cell phone stipend. Now, when I worked with Maverick County, and this is coming directly from County Judge David Salcedo, when I asked him, is April Rodriguez still working here? And he clearly said, no, she was not. But as you can see here, a cell phone stipend was still given. A cell phone stipend was still given in the amount of $100. It covered some of the benefits on here, as you can see. But again, as I'll mention, and you can see by the timeline here on these, sorry, I'm looking at it on the screen over here. You see you got May 24th, and then it jumps to 6/21. So there's one already missing. You got 6/21. You got July the 3rd. Okay, that's in line. You got July 19th. Okay, that's in line. And then it skips all the way to September. So we were not even given any of the August paycheck stubs. Why do y'all think that is? So then from September 27th, we were also skipped one in September. They gave us another one in October. And then it skips into November. So that's another one in September and October that's missing. 2 from August. And then it jumps to December. And the 2 from December were given. But as you can see, they're for minimal hours, cell phone stipend still. Now, one thing I would want to bring your attention to is see how that says regular. I wonder what happened. You see how it says regular, 0 hours? But she was paid a cell phone stipend. Again, regular, 0 hours, paid with a cell phone stipend. Again, regular, 0 hours, paid a cell phone stipend. You get the pattern that's going on here? Regular, oh, but there was hours and a holiday and a cell phone stipend. Now, watch how that regular here changes to salary exempt. So with 0 hours again. So that's where I'm kind of getting at. And by the look of her Facebook, you can see, it seems to me that she was attending college at Roadrunners. That's UTSA. You can see a load of pictures that she graduated that year from UTSA as a Roadrunner. And that just brings a whole host of questions, is that if she was completing college, how could she be the county director? How can you be at 2 places at once? A full-time student and a full-time county director, planning director, still getting paid with these checks that, $1,500 every 2 weeks, a pretty good paycheck, And that's one of the things that we want to bring. That's kind of the information that we wanted to bring up to you guys. Also, again, we have breaking news. Eddie Morales filed the same bill for magistrates. And we'll bring that up so you guys can see again. It is right. We do have it right here. Eddie Morales filed 8/9/2021 relating to the creation of related to the creation of magistrates in Maverick County. So how is that is he being able to do? How is that he's able to, he just filed something like this and now he refiled it again to circumvent the existing JPs that we already have in place here in Maverick County? Why are we going to pay magistrates out of our tax dollars money to have magistrates to serve at the convenience and the pleasure of Maverick County Commissioner's Court, the majority? Because let's be honest, if you follow the Maverick County Commissioner's Court meetings, there is a majority. The majority is real and the majority is vicious. The majority has an Eagle Pass news leader trying to manipulate you guys, the community, into believing something happens when it doesn't really happen the way they say it does. Now, what I'm talking about is the most recent article placed by the Eagle Pass news leader about Maverick County's Commissioner's Court, where it said that one of the commissioners, Commissioner Ruiz, did not want longevity for the employees. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth, when he was actually trying to get a little more reward for those that have been there over 25 years with 25 years of putting up with what's his name? The leader of the majority, David Judge Dredd Salcedo. I think you do deserve a special reward for that. I mean, excuse me, but there's nothing else that I can say. But damn, you deserve a freaking medal for having to put up with that kind of attitude for 25 plus years. That's just the truth of the matter. Now, both these bills, I have a direct word or support just texting me right now that both these bills are going to get killed at the state level. Now, my question to you, the community, is why are you so invested in this? State Representative Eddie Morales. Why are you so invested to where you do not ask the Justice of the Peace, all of them in all the precincts, about this certain item, this bill you want to put in? We actually reached out to the JPs and they let us know that they were never contacted by you or anyone in your office. Now, this is not the first time State Representative Eddie Morales has done this sort of go around, this beating around the bush type of tactics. He tried this with the district attorney, Roberto Serna. He tried to create another district attorney's office just for Maverick County. And then, without even speaking to the current district attorney who serves 3 counties, as a tri-county area, District Attorney Roberto Serna. Now, we interviewed Eddie Morales at that time, and Eddie Morales told us that it was a mistake. He should have consulted with District Attorney Roberto Serna. So what I have to say is that what happened this time? What happened this time? State Rep Eddie Morales? Did you forget to contact the JPs? Or is it just becoming a habit of yours going around stakeholders, going around the people that you should be talking to, the ones you're supposed to have good relationships with, which is everybody as a state representative? I mean, there's more that meets the eye there. As we mentioned in one of our comments, we're following a lead with a gentleman that was arrested and held with no bond for 3 days in Maverick County Sheriff's Office. We are trying to get you proof of them holding a gentleman with no bond. We have a question here real quick, guys. Let me address them. Why would Eddie Morales have to consult with the district attorney? At that time, he was proposing a new district attorney's office, which would affect the current district attorney's office, and he did not consult the current district attorney. Who better yet to know if you need another district attorney in the area is to the current district attorney. It's common courtesy, if you're going to have someone affecting somebody, whether it's their position, their family, their income, any type of their stakeholder, which in the case of bringing a whole new district attorney's office to Maverick County, one of the stakeholders would be the current district attorney. So that's why Eddie Morales should have extended the courtesy to speak with the current district attorney, Roberto Serna, which we had both of them on, and both of them said they did not have a conversation before that bill was filed. Now, that bill had been filed, it was rejected, it did not pass. But the whole thing is the common courtesy of reaching out to the stakeholders involved and telling them, hey, I'm planning to do this. Can I get some input? Because we are the ones who elected this official to represent us. Now, we've been trying to get an interview with State Representative Eddie Morales as recent as a couple of weeks ago, and we just he hasn't gone back to us. I know he may feel that, a little upset of the way we're covering things, but the way we're covering things is just bringing you the truth. We don't understand why a bill needed to be filed twice for the creation of magistrates. And if anybody is watching, any people that are close to Eddie Morales, we encourage you to let him know and ask him, hey, Eddie, why don't you come on the Rising Texan and talk to us again and everything. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question by Jose Rodriguez. Did you see April's year-to-date increase throughout the month significantly with missing pay stubs? Yes, that's my question exactly. And that was in the email that we sent out to the legal counsel of Maverick County's Commissioner's Court. We asked them that they're actually right here. To Sanchez and Wilson, attorney at law. That's who we reached out to. And we told them that there was missing check stubs. We told them that there were missing check stubs and we would like to see the whole thing. And they said that's the only thing the county provided. Now, we know for a fact that there's paycheck stubs missing, because how is there one following it? There's one missing for the month of August, for the month of September, for the month of October, the month of November. So we got 4 missing paycheck stubs that the county refuses to provide to us. Our next step will be to go provide this information for the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, and request him to request the county to release those check stubs so we can provide them from you. Now, we did show you some of these check stubs. The only reason why we haven't released them totally yet is because we don't have all of them yet. We're missing 4, as I mentioned, and we want to get you the complete picture. But we did want to give you an update of what we're having to deal with these elected officials. I mean, it's not the first time. If you guys have been following us for a while, it's not the first time that we've dealt with this. We've been given the runaround more than once. And there's a reason why we have been given the runaround, and we continue to be given the runaround, is because this is information they do not want you to know. This is information they do not want out there for the community to know, especially with elections right around the corner. That is why you see other news medias revving up, promoting Judge Saucedo, trying to make him look as good as possible. That's a tough job to do with the way he treats women and elderlies that show up, elderly people that show up at his court. Now, they're supposed to be a professional area. Well, I mean, I guess I get what you mean, but the thing is, it's not a general consensus. There was only one district attorney that he had to ask. You know, it's not a general consensus. And the only one that would know, that would know how much it would cost compared, because you're talking about opening a whole nother district attorney's office when you can't even adequately fund the original attorney's office, the original district attorney's office. And then you would get the other 2 smaller counties. The other 2 smaller counties were against this bill as well, Miss Jenny Ayers. I mean, I appreciate you coming to the defense of Eddie Morales, but the fact of the matter is, and you can go back and check on our YouTube, he admitted to being at fault, and he admitted he did not follow the right way. The thing is that as an elected official, you're supposed to be following up with what your constituents want, not anything that's personal interest. And the other smaller counties did reject the thought of Maverick County having their own district attorney's office. Why? Because it would leave them out without having the adequate funding for a district attorney's office. Now, why bring up a whole new district attorney's office when you can adequately fund the one that you have right now? That just doesn't make sense. If you have another opinion about that, please, Jenny, go ahead and post that out there. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sometimes it's hard out here with the dust and stuff to not say it any other ways, right? Let me see. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know which ones are fake accounts. Thank you. Um, Alejandra Ramos, Maverick County did support it after 2 weeks. Alejandro Ramos, sorry, did support it after 2 weeks. Now, you would think that Maverick County would have supported it prior to actually submitting the bill, but that never happened. Now, do you think that maybe oh man, okay, that's interesting. Now, do you think that there had to be some kind of reason why they wanted to get a newly elected district attorney out of the way? That's what is coming around, is that why would you put in that bill without consulting the district attorney, since we keep on having Alejandro Ramos bringing it up? And you might be right, bro, but I do know that there was one county that did submit a resolution that they were against it because there was no way they'd be able to fund themselves a district attorney. Now, another thing is also they were never approached. They never approached the district attorney, and I don't know if it had to do with anything with him supporting his rival for the HD 74 Texas seat, 74 District 74 Texas seat, which was Ramsey English Cantu. Now, that may have been a little brush up there. I'm not sure. But the thing is, that bill was not. No. Yeah, okay. You see, he should have. He never consulted with Roberto Serna. Now, if he would have consulted with Roberto Serna, and for whatever reason there was a disagreement, at least he went and consulted him, and that was not the case. He never spoke with him whatsoever. And we had District Attorney Roberto Serna in one of our interviews, and he was able to tell us that he was never consulted. And we had Eddie himself show up to one of our podcasts, and he did tell us himself that he apologized. He should have. Which brings me to this next one with the filing of a bill for magistrates from Maverick County. We followed up with the JPs, the Justice of the Peace, and he never consulted with them either. So we're wondering what's going on here, and we're starting to have a doubt about, because we did vote. I did vote for Eddie, but now I'm seriously considering not checking that box again this time, because here we are, the same situation that he told us live, our viewers told me and our viewers that he would not do again, and he did do that. So here we are, the same mistake, the same oops, the same way that first thing went down, and here we are again. It happened again. Now, if you don't think that that's something going on, then who is he trying to help? Now, if he was trying to help Maverick County, he would talk to these elected officials. He would try to find out what's the best solution overall. You see, and then my friend Joey here pokes fun. They're going to tell everyone you are crazy again, which we have. And that's the crazy thing about it, I guess, if you want to say. We have, proof where, Eddie and his wife have been spreading this information about me that I'm crazy just because I have this information about him not doing things correctly. Now, that doesn't mean you're crazy because you call out some of these things, because you bring some of these things to light. People can have different opinions than what you have. That's what makes our country great. That's what makes our state great. The state of Texas, right in back there, right? Now, yes, Joey's right. They did try to call me crazy. We had Vic Wheeler sending Joey a message earlier today, which he posted on and tagged us on our wall, saying that I was crazy. But last time I checked, we weren't the ones lying to the community, right, Eagle Pass News Dealer? Yeah, it's becoming a habit. You would think that he would talk to the people who are the stakeholders, which is Maverick County elected officials. No matter where the bill pertains to, you would normally naturally talk to that elected official, ask them how I can help, rather than setting a situation or an environment where you're going to be virtually eliminating the position of the justice of the peace, because you're bringing in these magistrates. Now, these magistrates are not going to be, paid $5,000 a month. $5,000 for their term or anything like that, or for however long they're hired. They're going to be paid a top dollar salary that's going to come back on who? The taxpayers, which is all of us need to know. That all of us need to know, and that's why it's so important to have that separation between the different elected officials, which is a checks and balances that creates an honest government, not a one-sided, dictatorship or one political machine or anything like that. Well, I sympathize to your hypothetical, but that's not the way it happened. That's not the way it happened. So we can't really bring up a hypothetical since those weren't the progressions. Now, talk to me about when he does something right, and then we can do a devil's advocate, but I don't think you can say that at this point, Alejandro Ramos. Well, and Don Fernando's is doing great stuff with a lot of food, and it looks great to us. It's nothing personal, of course. Never is, never was. We're just trying to bring you the truth and what it is. And that's what we try to do here. You have other news media sources out there that are trying to give you their perception, but what we're trying to do is give you the whole picture. Let you decide. You can decide. My commentary has no bearing on your decisions that you make from here to election time. That's not my point. My point is just to bring awareness of what is actually going on. And that's a good point brought up by Billy. Why did he file JP's bill for Maverick County, and what about the other 11 counties? It seems to me that they it's just like how Frank said, the micro bill to fix something or to do something within the county that he comes from, the county that he has a stronghold in. Could it be they're trying to retain that stronghold? Could it be he's trying to get stronger in this county by appointing their own magistrates? I'm not saying that's what they're doing. I'm just asking the question. Is that a possibility that they could be doing something like that? So the magistrates, they would be employees of Maverick County. They would be employees of Maverick County. In other words, they don't work for us, the elected officials. We elect the JPs. We go out, we give them a vote. The magistrates that Morales is proposing would be employees of the county and would serve at the pleasure of Commissioner's Court. That is the best thing that they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Is that you're electing the people that represent you rather than other people appointing magistrates to take care of business as it should be done. So that's the little control system that they're trying to establish. All right, I guess everybody's dropping their favorite barbacoa places right now. Look at that, Joey. Joey, I'm surprised they even let you in there, Joey. They're not as big as Maverick. Well, Maverick County came out big for Eddie back in the last election, coming up with 10,000 votes. Well, I guess he certainly got the most out of the people he paid to get those votes, right? Since his campaign finance was about a sheet mile long, had everybody's name in Maverick County in there. Everybody in Maverick County name was paid by the campaign of Eddie Morales, right, guys? Y'all saw it when we released that information. And now I'm asking a question. I'm not saying anything definitive or nothing like that. It's just a question. All right. Well, guys, we're gonna let you go for today. We appreciate you guys stopping by and catching our interview, and also catching our little commentary afterwards. It's getting a little late, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. Just real quick, we are going to, as always, shout out to our sponsors that help us keep the lights on. And we have a new lighting setup, as you can see. We're a little bit brighter now on the screen. So we appreciate you guys helping us out, the sponsors, and of course our donations that we get. So Rodriguez Consulting and Services, guys, 830-971-4068. Business Consulting, El Agave Liquors, 830-757-6655. And Viva K9 Dog Training, Grooming, and Boarding Center, 830-513-3523. And as always, our Cash App is $ the Rising Texan Media. If you guys want to help us out, you can donate, or please visit one of our sponsors and tell them you heard about them on the Rising Texan. That way they can continue to sponsor us, and we can go ahead and bring you this upgraded stuff. Since we have new lighting, we're looking into getting a microphone, upgrade on our microphone. That way we can continue to bring you nothing but the best and the truth about what's going on in our southwest border region, mainly Maverick County, Texas, Eagle Pass, Texas, but also our surrounding Valverde, Del Rio, Kenny County, Carrizo Springs, Demet County, Crystal City, and the surrounding regions around us, guys. So we appreciate you guys for joining in. And we hope you had a good time, and we'll be having a show shortly, so watch out for that. If you haven't, please like and subscribe our TRT News Media page. It's our new page. We did a little different thing with it, so hopefully we get to stay on here longer and we don't get knocked down by the powers that be. But thank you for joining in, guys. We hope to hear from you soon, and please check out our page. We really appreciate all the support. Again, our Cash App, $ the Rising Texan Media. We really appreciate any help you guys can give. And if you are interested in sponsoring, hit me up at 830-968-0344. Thank you, guys, and have a great yes, we do. Have a great rest of your week, and watch out for our other podcasts that are coming out sometime this week. We appreciate you tuning in. Have a good one. Good night. Be safe and take care.